The doctors said survival was a miracle. Two brothers pulled from the wreckage of a capsized ferry, identical faces streaked with blood and seawater. One died before reaching shore. The other woke up 3 days later with a fractured skull, a shattered leg, and no memory of the accident. I met him a year after that. He told me his name was Daniel. He said he had a twin, David, who was gone. When he spoke about his brother, his voice was steady, almost rehearsed, like a story told too many times to strangers who expected grief on cue. I mistook that calm for strength. We married 3 years later. At first, the memory loss was an explanation for everything. Why he didn't remember childhood friends, why certain family stories made him uncomfortable, why he avoided mirrors when he thought no one was looking. Trauma, the therapist said. Survivor's guilt. I believed them. But there were moments, small, quiet ones, that unsettled me. He wrote with his left hand, though his mother swore Daniel was right-handed. He hated coffee, even though everyone insisted Daniel drank it black every morning without fail. Once, while half asleep, he corrected me sharply when I called him Danny. "Don't call me that," he said, panic flashing across his face. David hated that name. I laughed it off. Twins get mixed up, I told myself. That's all this was. Years passed. One night, I found an old box in the attic. Inside were photographs salvaged from the wreck, water damaged but still clear enough. Two boys standing beside the ferry rail, arms slung over each other's shoulders. On the back of the photo, written in faded ink, were two names with arrows: Daniel, left; David, right. I stared at the image until my hands started to shake. The man I married was standing on the right. When I asked him about it, his face went pale. He sat down slowly, like his legs could no longer hold him. "I told you," he said. "I don't remember." That night, he finally told me the rest. There was fighting on the deck as the ferry tilted. Panic, screaming, metal tearing apart. The twins had been separated in the chaos, then reunited near the lifeboats. One of them had been trapped beneath a fallen beam. The other was free. I remember looking at him, my husband whispered. He was bleeding. He was crying. He kept calling my name. He pressed his hands to his temples, as if trying to keep the memory from spilling out. I remember thinking, if I switch places with him, no one will know. We look the same clothes, same faces, and I was so tired, so afraid. My chest tightened. "So what happened?" "I don't know," he said. "I woke up in a hospital. They told me I survived. They told me my brother didn't." He looked at me then, eyes full of terror and something worse, recognition. "Sometimes I wonder," he said, voice breaking, "if the memory loss isn't from the accident at all." I understood then. The man I loved wasn't haunted because he survived. He was haunted because somewhere in the dark, in the freezing water and screaming steel, he might have let his brother die or become him. And every day since, he's been living a life that might never have been his. I still call him my husband, but sometimes when he looks at me like he's afraid I'll see through him, I wonder too, which twin really survived?